Love is alive in the space between us. Feel that love right now. God speaks out in the words between us. Hear those words right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. Spirit shines in the light between us. See that light right now. Peace is born in the good between us. Be that peace right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. Between us. Faith is the bond that we share between us. Hold that faith right now. Truth is the life in the breath between us. Live that truth right now. We are holy. We are holy. We are between us.
I'll watch her for a sign.
Welcome to Unity of Melbourne. We're starting off with Love is My Decision. You're welcome to stand if you'd like to. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now.
Right here and now, I know it's done. The life that I've dreamed of has finally begun. As sure as the sun shines down on me, I am the one who set myself free. Love is my decision.
It's up to me to dance
down that road. Love is my decision.
My decision right here and now.
Love is my
Decision. It's up to me.
Can lighten my load.
Love is my decision.
No one else
Can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind,
God will
show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here and now.
my decision right here and now.
Good morning. My name is Paulette Mason. Yeah, I can remember my name this morning. We're all happy about that. It has been my pleasure to serve Unity of Melbourne as a licensed Unity teacher. And so I welcome all of you joining us virtually, welcome all of you here in the sanctuary. And I would like to begin our service with a word of prayer. So if you all would just please join me, take a few deep breaths. And I pray better if my eyes are closed, but you may do whatever you want. Let's concentrate on our heart space as we take the breaths. Center ourselves and become aware of the presence of the divine. And we are that presence, and we are that which is always loving, kind. We affirm that for ourselves. We affirm that for everyone. We see the Christ presence within and without in everyone. And so it is. Amen. So I have to look at my script here. So I've already welcomed you. That's done. Now's the time that we're going to do our announcements. And so I think that one of the important announcements is that we're going to have a town hall meeting here At 12 p.m. today, Joseph is going to post a Zoom link for you to join us virtually if you are able to do that. And those of you who can stay and participate in that town hall meeting, I know it's very important. It means a lot to the board to have your thoughts, your input, because they are serving you. Then also, the next slide is about class that's going to come up. Randy Fillmore is going to be teaching it. I can neither read this to repeat it, but you can all see it on the screen, and I'm going to let you read. That's why you went to school, right? If you feel like that your life is not as abundant as you would like it to be, and abundance has more to do than just money. There's a lot more to an abundant life than just that. So if you feel that you would like to be happier, healthier, wealthier, then I would suggest that you might want to check out this particular class that Randy's going to be doing. Then we also have Wednesday evening prayer. There it is. And that's something that that we felt would serve the community also. Well, I have a mouse in my pocket or whatever, because it's actually the board that made that decision that they'd like to do that. Then Maggie, our licensed Unity teacher, by the way, Randy, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you as a licensed Unity teacher, will be doing the Abundant Living class. Then our other licensed Unity teacher, Maggie, will be doing some more with Conscious Living Circles. And she's been doing the Conscious Living Circles for quite a while now. And 10 years? Well, the thing is that they are extremely popular. And she's had people that have been with her, I'm pretty sure, that full 10 years. So if you'd like to find out more about it, if you'd like to sign up for it, then you can do that. You can do the connection thing there. And if you are here, present in the sanctuary, there are sign-up sheets that talk about the different things. You can check it. Leave your information so that they can get in touch with you. And I think that Randy told me before the service that this was the last time that we're under the gun, so to speak, for the Abundant Life Workshop. So starts on Tuesday. So yeah, if you're going to do it, get signed up really quick. Okay, so now there's something personal here that I want to say that isn't on the sheet. I didn't write any notes. This is coming right from me. This will be the last time that I will stand in front of you in this particular role, I guess we would say. Because some of you know, some of you don't know, I am moving. And I am going to be moving to be with my children who live up north. My son lives in Illinois. My daughter lives in Missouri. They're about 3 hours from each other. So I'm going to bounce back and forth and bless them with my presence. You've heard of, I've always just said I would like to be a snowbird. Well, I'm going to be in the snow, and I'm going to be a bird bouncing back and forth. But it is a new chapter in my life. It's something that I feel called to do. I will miss my family here, you all, every one of you holds a special place in my heart. And I want you to know that and remember that. And I will also be watching online on Sunday. So I'll put a little comment in, hi, that kind of thing, so you don't forget me. And I do know how to get back to Florida. So I will come back and see you all again. So it's been my pleasure to serve you. All righty, so now our children, we're going to bless our children. But first, I have a little note here that the children are now, they're still learning about spiritual teachers. And it says, the lesson this week looks deeper at the spiritual teachers we have learned about, and we are reviewing what we can still learn from them. So that is what they're doing. So if you would join me, rubbing your hands together, we're just going to aim that energy back there into those classrooms. And we say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. And if you would like your child to perhaps participate and you're not able to bring them here, there is a email address right there where you can contact Cheryl, and she can send the lessons to you so you can cover them with your children. And so now, boy, I have a mess up here now. Papers all over the place. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a song, and then we are going to have a message and a meditation from Rev Cynthia-Alice Anderson. I really have no intro for her because she's been here quite a bit recently, did some workshops, and so I think that you all know her. If you don't, you're in for a real treat. So.
There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and that emptiness you felt will disappear. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero to follow, but don't let anyone tear them away. Hold on, there will be tomorrow. In time, you'll find the way. And a hero comes along with the strength to carry on. And you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you.
Thank you so much. Let's just acknowledge our music team again. They always do such a super job. All right. Yes. Excellent. Well, good morning, everyone. I feel like I want to just take this in for a minute. My back was to you that whole time. With COVID, we're not loving on each other the same way, and I miss that. Anybody else? Raise your hand if you miss. We're Unity people. We love to hug. So anyway, I'm happy to be back with you. My name is Cynthia-Alice. I know I have the longest name in minister history. So anyway, I'm happy to be with you again. And I've got really something on my heart today about forgiveness, and I mentioned it a little bit before, but everybody I seem to talk to recently, and I do a lot of work with people one-on-one. I work with ministries around the country and people around the world, and everybody has something to forgive. Amen? And so this has been a rough year. I bet if I said, anybody have any family members to forgive, every hand would go up, and I'm not asking. If I said, anybody got any politicians you need to forgive, both hands would go up. Yes. But we are souls on a spiritual journey, right? And so we come together on a Sunday, to celebrate that other spiritual work we're doing all week. And one of the keys to living an abundant life, a key to living a spiritual life, is to forgive. It's to forgive. And so what I know for me, growing up in the church, I'm just curious here, who grew up in the church? Raise your hand. Any church. Not Unity, but any church. Okay, very, very good. Any Methodist? Okay, that was me. Baptist? Okay, Catholic? Anything I didn't mention? Presbyterian? Okay, all right. So mostly mainline churches. So what we learned growing up was forgive is to what? Forget. Forgive is to forget. So it's like, oh boy, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to get into some of that because the way I grew up learning about forgiveness, to forgive is to forget, I think is a little dangerous, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But as I've grown and developed on my journey, what I've learned is that forgiveness has been a catalyst for change and abundance in my emotional life, in my spiritual life, and even my financial life. So as my journey has continued and I've had more spiritual teachers teach me about forgiveness, I've really noticed something, and that is every world religion that I know of and denomination has forgiveness as a teaching. Every one. Buddhism, every denomination we mention talks about forgiveness. Native American spirituality talks about forgiveness. So why is that so? Why is that so? Well, let's talk about what forgiveness is. If you were taking notes, you would write down, number one, what is forgiveness? Well, we think of forgiveness as condoning bad behavior. But that's not what it is. That's not what it is. Forgiveness is really a releasing of an old toxic energy that we've held on to because of a rough situation. All of us growing up have had traumatic situations for some of us, depending on our families and our life situation, some of that trauma continues. And so when we've been done wrong, which I've already agreed, everybody in the room's been done wrong. We don't need to compare stories of who was done wrong the worst. Right? So forgiveness is saying, I don't want the energy of the done wrong anymore. It's like when we get bigger than the wound, we can move into forgiveness. And so one of Unity's authors, Eric Butterworth is his name, said that when we don't forgive, it's like we're tied with the very person that hurt us with this invisible steel beam. And for me, that was, I read that, I said, oh my goodness. I said to myself, you mean the people that hurt me so long ago that I've been, going over in my mind, they did that, he did this, she did that. You mean the more I think about it, the more I reinforce this connection? So I realized this was both good news and bad news. The bad news is I'd held on to it for years. The good news is I could change that. So just look at the person next to you and say, honey, you can change that. You have to say honey, though. You have to say, honey, you can change that. Sometimes we need to laugh at ourselves, friends. We need to laugh at ourselves at how long we've held on to hurt. And I'm talking about, I understand hurt can be very deep from people that should have loved us and supported us. But the thing is, the more we hold on to it, the only person we're hurting is ourselves. Because whoever hurt us, guess what? They've got their own thing to work out. But the only thing you're responsible for is your journey, not theirs. Say, uh-oh. Only our journey, friends. Only our journey. So forgiveness is like inviting this fresh air into our lives. And so what's so amazing, so Charles Fillmore wrote a book years ago called Prosperity. And it's one of the best books I know on prosperity. And in there's a chapter called God Will Pay Your Debts. And in there, he talks about forgiveness. And he says, if you are not forgiving, you will most definitely have debt. The reason is you believe in owing. And that in the universe is balanced. And in the universal energy, there is no owing. This idea of owing is an idea of debt and will manifest in our finances as debt. Now, this is a deep teaching. And honestly, the first time I heard it, I said, I don't know. Sometimes this unity stuff, I said, are you people for real? If I forgive, I'm not going to have credit card debt? I don't believe it. I was not one of those people that said I walked into Unity and I was home. That did not happen. It took a couple Sundays for me. I remember when the minister said, it was the first Sunday I was there performing, actually. I was there with the music team. And I was sitting in this Unity church. It was Seattle Unity. And during the meditation, the minister said, now let the pews support you. And I thought, what was it doing before? I don't know. I was like, I didn't get it. I don't get it. But then I realized he was saying, oh no, relax into the moment. And then I got it, So I was a little slower than you all in understanding unity. So when I heard somebody say, that unforgiveness was tied to debt, I thought, I'm going to test this thing out. And I'm just going to start forgiving. So that's how my journey of deeper forgiveness began. At that time, I also began tithing. And what I will tell you is at the end of that year, I took in over $20,000 more than I expected. I gave away a car. I bought a new car and paid off all my debt. While I was in school, making less money. Made no sense. Except for the fact that I was forgiving and tithing. It's the law, honey. That's what we say down south. It's the law. So forgiveness is releasing energy that no longer serves you and your journey. So resentment, bad feelings, anger, disappointment, difficulties, even unfulfilled hopes and dreams deserve our forgiveness. And you know what I've learned is that most unforgiveness of others is really what? It's a reflection of our own lack of self-forgiveness. Because we can only see what we are. We've learned in psychology that's called good old-fashioned projection. As I see it in you, I'm trying to know it in me. Right? So we know more now about the brain and about psychology than we've ever known. So how do our spiritual principles touch in? So one is, what is forgiveness? And that is, it is clearing old toxic energy out of our lives. Number two, why don't we forgive? Why don't we forgive? Well, I hate to say it, but it is good old-fashioned fear. We think, who will I be without this anger? Are they going to win? Raise your hand if you've ever thought that. And it's all of us, right? We're going to let them win if we forgive. Now, so I want to go back to what I said at the beginning, which was the way I grew up hearing about forgiveness was to forgive is to forget. Now, I disagree with that because what I think is if you forget, you're setting yourself up to be hurt again. Now, yes, but having said that about forgiveness, what's so important to know is that if we truly forgive, though, that hurt that was so present in our mind for so long, over time it gets less and less and less. So it does dim in its presence in our lives. But when I've been ministering in many different situations, and I shared a little bit of this of when one of my clients that I was working with was at her dying moment, and the reason she was in the hospital is because the minister said, to forgive is to forget, and she went back home to an abusive husband. And he hit her so hard it knocked her down the stairs and broke and paralyzed her. So when I met her, she was in the hospital dying because her minister said, forgive is to forget, and sent her back home to that madness. She said to me, will you unplug me? Yeah. So see, she thought she was doing what somebody told her to do, and I'm saying, no, that's not what I mean. I would have said, get out, get safe. We'll get to forgiveness later. Because, friends, sometimes it's not time yet. Sometimes we're not ready. And that's also different than you may have heard. Just being willing, wanting to forgive, helps open our heart to more love and more good energy. But we don't want to forgive and put ourselves in harm's way. I'm never meaning that. I just want to say that so clearly. Because when we're in a situation, if we're being controlled or a rough situation, we're not thinking clearly. So I just am very, very clear about that. So sometimes we don't forgive because we think, if I forgive, it means they win. There's also a divine timing, as I'm saying, to forgive. Now, there's a scripture I want to talk to you about, and I think Randy or Joseph is going to put up a slide. It's from the book of Matthew, chapter 18, and I have a really old Bible with me today. It's funny how as you age, certain things from the past come up as meaningful. Have you noticed that? And this Bible was the first Bible I was ever given by my parents. It has my name on the front. It's the only it was like a real Bible. And like in the South, that's no better gift. When you're growing up in Georgia, no, you want a real Bible. And this scripture, this is from the King James. It says, then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Jesus saith unto him, I say not unto thee 7 times, until 70 times 7. So what I love about this is I think Peter thought he was doing a good thing by saying 7 times. Now, what we know in Unity is that the numbers in the Bible have meaning, right? We often say there's metaphysical meanings to the numbers. Does anybody remember what that number 7 is the metaphysical meaning of? Creation, did somebody say that? Yes, right. Creation, right, creation. Now, so metaphysically, if we look at that and Jesus says 70 times 7, we know that just means until you're done. And sometimes it takes more than once. Sometimes it takes more than once. But you know what? I went even deeper and I looked. I love to study what the Jews say about the Bible because, you know, they wrote the thing. And so there's this rabbi I study, and one of the things he talks about is in Hebrew, all the words have alphanumeric value. And so that number 490 has a meaning, and it means complete. 70 times 7 is 490. That means complete. The word in Hebrew is tamim. In other words, if we don't forgive, we are incomplete. Forgiveness, friends, is a part of the curriculum. It's not optional. At some point, we have to get to the point when we're ready to forgive, release, let go, move on. We have gotten bigger than the pains of the past. I've worked with so many people over the years who have had rough breakups or strained relationships with children. And years have gone by, and they're still living as if it happened yesterday. And you know what? When they're not forgiving, everything in their life is stuck. Everything. Finances, opportunities. Because when we don't forgive, we're saying, I want this pain more than love. And I also know and honor there's a process, but just hear me on this. So Jesus says not 7 times, 70 times 7. 70 times 7. So in my practice of forgiveness, I've talked about this a little bit in the class that I did here before, which is the practice I do is I do the actual 70 times 7, which means every single day I write 70 times a day, I forgive whatever it is I need to forgive, and I do it for 7 days. 70 times for 7 days. 70 times 7. I forgive whoever it is totally and completely. If you've never done that, I want you to start with yourself. Love yourself enough to forgive yourself. I forgive myself totally and completely. Write that 70 times a day for 7 days. And no, you cannot do it on your computer. You must write it. And men, you have to do it too. It's not just the women I'm talking to. I forgive myself totally and completely 70 times for 7 days. 70 times for 7 days. So when I was first trying this out, what I was doing is I was doing 35 times in the morning and 35 times at night, and I would just write it out. And I noticed sometimes, too, that anger would come up, sometimes tears would come up. I would write it anyway. And then as I was falling to sleep, I would just be repeating that almost like a mantra. You know, a mantra is just that statement that you repeat. You know, it takes you into like a prayerful consciousness and energy. So as I was going to sleep, I was saying those words. I forgive myself totally and completely. I forgive myself totally and completely. Just real gentle like that. Well, at about day 8 or 9, I'd kind of lost track of the days. And I was just doing it now out of habit. And instead of saying, I forgive myself totally and completely, something shifted. And automatically, I started saying, I love myself totally and completely. What a gift to my soul from the universe. Ah, what a gift. So then I said, Spirit, who's next? I'm complete. For now. Then I decided I'm going to do this forgiveness process on my son. And I'm just going to forgive him, even though I have nothing really to forgive him for. He's a great kiddo. But when I send that forgiveness energy, I'm going to quit having false expectations of him. I'm going to quit having mom's idea of what he needs to be and honor who he is. Just by that one act of forgiveness for 70 times a day for 7 days. It transforms relationships. So recently, this is a couple months ago, I was really guided to do 30 days of forgiveness. And I was going to do 70 times every day. And I got up in the morning and I would start writing. And the very first day, I wrote my 35 times. And I was just sobbing. I could not stop crying. And Spirit said, that's enough. Okay. I said, okay, I'm going to do it tonight. Spirit said, nope, that's enough. Next day, 35 times. I thought, well, I am going to do this for 30 days. So, and I put it up on, I had this little door. It had, just happened to have 15 panes on the door. So I would tape up my little journaling every day, and at the end of 30 days, I looked at that, and I said, okay, what's next? And Spirit said, now I want you to write every day for 30 days, I love myself. Totally and completely. So, friends, what happens with me is when I can get to forgiveness, love comes after that. What also came was a really large donation to my foundation that I had no idea was coming, for the exact dollar amount I needed. And there was not a single ask for money. You understand that? You understand? There was not a single ask for money. All I did was forgive. And that changed the energetic vibration of myself, my thoughts, and my work. And I got one large check that would cover all the expenses for that month. That's God. From the simple act of forgiving. So if you could use a little more goodness in your life, I'd say get busy with that. The other piece, I just want to leave you with this, because the other piece I really like to do that helps, especially if I'm in a rough work situation or I know I'm going to have a difficult conversation or something with a family member, then I will just do the forgiveness mantra where as somebody's talking, I will just say over and over in my mind, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I can be totally present, and that goes in my mind. And suddenly, I can deal with anything. I forgive you. And I think this aligns us, I know it does, with Jesus the Christ, who came to teach us forgiveness. Some of his last words were what? Father, forgive them. At the most trying moments of his life. So when I look at my own life, I figure if Jesus could do that, it's the least I can do. Not only am I releasing energy, but I'm aligning myself with the Christ that I am designed to be. So with this idea of forgiveness, let's go inward for a moment and do a little meditation work. So will you play just a little piano with me? Support me that way. I think that would be nice. The way I like to center myself is just to take a few deep breaths. I just invite you to breathe, to become still. As you breathe, you know all is well, that wherever you are, God is. You can know that there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good omnipotence. Right now, as you breathe, place your attention in your heart, remembering that wherever you are, God is, and God exists in the very soul of you, the mind, the body, and soul of you. As you breathe and rest in this very moment, I want you to know that you are already forgiven. You are already forgiven. You are released from the past. And as you choose to forgive, it will enable you to move forward into your soul's goodness, your soul's joy, your soul's abundance, your soul's health. As you rest in this place, we remember wherever I am, God is, and I am forgiven. Wherever I am, God is, and I am forgiven. Wherever I am, God is, and I am forgiven. As we rest a few moments in silence, if your mind starts to wander, bring it back to the truth. Wherever I am, God is, and I am forgiven. So we rest a few moments in silence. Wherever I am, God is, and I am forgiven. We know, dear God, that this is the truth, and we right now consciously send this forgiveness energy into our homes, where we work. Imagine our cities filled with forgiveness, our state, our country, and even our world. Can you imagine, as we send this forgiveness energy forward, that people would release anger and fear completely, knowing that forgiveness is the highest expression of love. Wherever I am, God is, and I am forgiven. So for this time, as we remember that we are forgiven, as we send this energy out, we know we are aligning ourselves with the Christ energy that was so embodied by Jesus. So for our time together to worship and remember the truth that sets us free, we are grateful and we are blessed. And so it is. Amen.
Return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to what you are. return to the land of your soul.
And now it's time for us to actually do a physical thing to show our gratitude for all that we've been blessed with. It would be a time for those of you who are watching virtually, if you would maybe put in the comments section something that you are particularly grateful for today or from this week. And also there are little slips back there in the by the prayer box and the gratitude basket that's back there. If you would like to share something that you were blessed by, or you can write it, put it in your pocket and take it home and remind yourself whenever there's a time that you might not feel extremely blessed. We all have those little times, you know. So then you go, oh, wait a minute. Yes, I'm blessed. I'm not going to let this bother me because I am blessed. So, we're going to have a song. And while that's going on, we're just going to be grateful, show your appreciation, and let's just enjoy and appreciate our musicians.
You might have to stand for this in order to do the gratitude.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
lots of hand motions. The hand motions are in front of you in the pocket of the chairs. All right, here we go. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
Still not used to that, but it feels so good to do it, doesn't it? Add those motions. All right, so if you will join me in blessing the offerings that are given in gratitude to Unity of Melbourne. We bless these offerings destined for Unity of Melbourne and are grateful for all the ways that each of you continue to support this spiritual community. These manifestations of abundance will be used in faithful stewardship. We bless this gift. We bless the giver. And we hold the conviction that each blessing will be manifold in your life 100-fold.
Hold the phone. We're not done yet. We're not done being grateful. And guess who we're going to be grateful for? Get out of the way, Paulette. Now, some of you may or may not remember a time before COVID, a time before Randy was our go-to guy. You'll never guess who was our go-to person before that. In fact, we even had a little epithet for her. And we used to call her the Queen.
Well, you used to call me the Queen.
Oh, no, we all used to.
Yeah. Oh, let's get this on straight, man.
Paulette, you are a wonder. It's been so wonderful being your colleague. And I mean, this is where I used to go when I made a mistake to get it fixed, when I didn't know what to do to find out what to do. If I wrote something wrong, if I did something wrong, Paulette was always there. Your Majesty, thank you. And this is a card from the church. The church. We would all be up here if we had room on the platform. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the boss.
I'm not the boss. And you're always the queen and always will be. I think everyone knows Paulette's incredible contributions to Unity of Melbourne. What you don't know is all the things she does behind the scenes. I mean, there are times when Randy will call and say, this broke, this happened, this, and I, oh, what do we need to do? Oh, Paulette took care of it. Paulette took care of it. I hope if there's one thing that we can learn from this time, that we've had to do things differently these last 18 months, is that we know we can stay connected. And that we'll lose your physical presence, we'll lose you here, but that you'll always be part of us and we'll always be better because of you. We love you, we appreciate you. And I have a guest room, and I think other people have guest rooms too for when she comes back. When she comes back to Florida. And this is just a little gift from the board. Thank you, Paula.
Well, I appreciate all of you, and you know, it was really my great pleasure to serve both in the office when I did that, as a licensed Unity teacher when I did that, standing in front of you right now, as I've done before, when I did that, and just talking to each one of you, and hopefully there was some point in time when I gave you just a little uplift, just a little bit of hope. And I want you to know that that came from the love that I have for each and every one of you. Yes. You're all very special to me. So thank you. So isn't this awkward? Now what do I do, huh?
Go back to the notes.
Thank you, Randy. Okay, so I missed the 4 ways to give, but I know that Joseph posted it online, and I know that you really all know that way, the 4 ways to give. So I'm just catching up now. Hey, next week Hank Lewis is going to be here. If any of you have heard him, he is actually serving as the Southeast Region rep for the licensed Unity teachers. So we've been able to have a lot of personal experience with him, and I've always enjoyed when he had a talk, you know, whatever he talked about. Today, thank you so, so very much, Rev Cynthia-Alice. I even heard something that I hadn't heard before. So see, it's good to be here and listen, because there might be something that will just absolutely ring a bell with you and make a difference in your life. And that's why we come here. That's why we are here virtually, to get whatever it is, that message that Spirit has for us. And the musicians. Thank you so much, Stoney. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Fred. Ta-da! Yeah. There we go. Oh, thank you for the prayer chaplains. And I see Pat, and I see Jane. Oh, and I hate that. Chris. That happens occasionally. Forget somebody's name. And I know Chris too. So, oh, and I see Ann. Oh my gosh, we have a plethora. If you guys have any prayer needs, let me tell you, we got you covered. So they are here available to pray with you if you want a personal prayer. You can always request prayer on our website. And you can always call Silent Unity. So we've got you covered in prayer, and that's one of the most important things. Unity was founded on prayer. So let's say our prayer for protection, and then we will have a closing song by our musicians. So please join me. The light of God surrounds me. I am light. The love of God enfolds me. I am love. The presence of God watches over me. Oh, I'm sorry. The power of God protects me. I am power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, for I know all is divine. And so it is.
So it is.
Closing song, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world. Lay the puzzle pieces out. Find out what it's all about. Together we can change the world. Can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sail past where it's been charted. Roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. With our hands and with our hearts, we can dare to make a start. Together we can change the world. What if we spoke with one voice, knowing that we have a choice? Together we can change the world. Can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sail past where it's been charted. Roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world.
Love is alive in the space between us. Feel that love right now. God speaks out in the words between us. Hear those words right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. Spirit shines in the light between us. See that light right now. Peace is born in the good between us. Be that peace right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. Between us. Faith is the bond that we share between us. Hold that faith right now. Truth is the life in the breath between us. Live that truth right now. We are holy. We are holy. We are holy. We Love is alive between us.